Hey guys, here's another story from omgatwork.com. I'm not the kind of person who gets overly grossed out or sickened by the sight of blood, nor one of the people that's inclined to be a I told you so mentality. But there is one incident from years back that covered those bases completely for me that I will never be able to get the images out of my head. I was working at a little mom and pop restaurant at the time with a ridiculously busy morning crowd. Generally, it was one of the restaurant owners working the register and the front counter, while I worked the main dining area, the waitressing, and there was one cook working the kitchen. It was a lot of clientele for 3 people to deal with, but overall, it was a fairly small restaurant, and we could typically handle the 2 or 3 hour rush with only the 3 of us. We had 2 morning cooks who split the work week between themselves, but our second cook had left 2 weeks prior, and he had not been replaced. I kept mentioning the need for a second cook to my boss, who still hadn't taken the time to find a replacement. This made me nuts. What if something happens with Darren? I remember asking. You don't even have anyone to pick it up, just in case of an emergency. She always blew it off. Her opinion was that Darren had been working there for such a long time and there had never been an emergency situation, so she was confident that everything would be just fine. And I'm sure that she felt she was doing him a good service because he was happy to pick up the extra hours for a while. Then came the morning when Darren came into work at 6 a.m. drunk as a skunk. I kid you not. This guy was barely able to walk, let alone flip an egg. I hated to do it, but when our boss came in, I had to let her know. It was just an accident waiting to happen, and she had to do something fast. You know what she did? Nothing. This woman literally brushed it off that he knew what he was doing and he would be okay in a couple hours. Besides, she said, I don't have a replacement for him. There's no one I can call, so we'll just have to make do. I just bit my tongue at her selfish idiocy and carried through prepping the tables for open, hoping that I would come up with the right solution before we had too many issues or someone was hurt. That didn't happen. Our first customer ended up coming in just before the major rush and ordered this unusual buttery bagel and coffee. About 30 seconds after I called the order back, there was a horrifying scream from the kitchen. While cutting our customer's bagel, dumb drunk Darren had his thumb in the center of the bagel when he had started slicing it. At that point, it may have been a good thing he was still half in the bag, because when I got into the kitchen, I found Darren standing there, blood all over the place, his thumb dangling about a centimeter from being cut off altogether. Needless to say, we had to send our customers home and close the restaurant for the remainder of the day. In fact, we didn't open for the morning rush again until a week later.